The sounds, the colors, and the smiles. This year, the Great Balloon Race also became a race against the weather.
Someone told me about it at work that they had rescheduled it for today, the afternoon. It worked out well.
Though it was an impromptu call to have it Friday evening instead of Saturday, the crowd was pretty much about the same as years past. Some just didn't want to miss it.
Important enough for Grandma. She called me and said, "Can I take them? We're headed there." So I came straight from work and met them up here.
The wind did make for a workout, but in just a few minutes, they were up. Once in the air, they throw a bag of bluegrass seeds on a target to win the race. They then land all over Louisville.
The Remax balloon landed in my yard, and the balloon was down, and all the neighbors were flocking in here to see.
Their crews pick up the balloons and bring them here to the fairgrounds, where they light them up for more oohs and ahs. This pilot glad the weather gave them a chance to show off.
But with the weather coming in, it makes it a great, experience for the people we flew over and also for the crowd tonight.
The weather cooperating at least for one night, long enough for those here for the first time and those who never miss it to be blown away.
He just kind of sprung it on me last minute and we decided to come. Yeah, and it's really worth it.
For her daughter. October 1st, Shelby received her transplant, but the procedure her family planned for took a wrong turn.
Shelby had flatlined on the operating table. The loss of blood, the doctor said that if they had to measure it out in large quantities, it would probably be about 9.5 2-liter bottles of blood.
Shelby was revived moments later, and although the liver transplant was successful, the loss of blood caused severe brain damage.
We have right side brain damage, pretty bad. The left side has a little damage too, and then in the back we had blood clotting. Squeeze, squeeze.
She's now relearning motor skills, finger, arm, and leg movement. It's uncertain how much brain damage has affected her vision and hearing. Her family and friends began sharing her recovery successes on Facebook, simply seeking greeting cards to read to Shelby.
It spread. I mean, it just blossomed and went way further than I ever dreamed. It's people, When
I tell people what I do for a living, they're always kind of like, "You're what? You're a witch?" I'm like, "That's my job."
Call it a metamorphosis.
So she usually starts with my hands. Once the green makeup's on, it's less me and more Elphaba. Oh.
This wicked witch takes going green to a whole new level before our eyes.
Yes, it's very cool.
Wicked's Alyssa Fox and the show's makeup supervisor share some secrets.
In my ears, it's usually in my hairline, all around my nose.
It's not just green, but also brush strokes in purple.
To make sure that they're as pretty as possible, but yet green.
Slowly, the character comes to life.
Finishing touches.
The makeup, the transformation, takes about 20 minutes. A well-orchestrated dance this team has down to a science.
There you go.
Elphaba needed some time to get dressed, so we headed downstairs. For some, this was the first time.
This is like my dream.
Others have seen it a time or two.
More like number 8, but...
Now the magic is about to begin, and Wave 3 News is taking you inside for a sneak peek. Wicked is set to break box office records during its visit to Louisville, and here's why.
I think Wicked's gonna...
Why don't we put you here? I will be right back with you. Hey, we'll grab one from maybe over there.
Will Hardesty hustled to make this same-sex marriage party at the Highlands Tap Room a success.
We may have to get creative. When I proposed this event, it was just like, yeah, let's do it.
Will is gay, but says this wouldn't have happened without his friends who are straight.
I think they're more excited than I am.
People like Dan Despian.
Holler at us and tell us where we're going.
He volunteered at the event. He just wanted to be there for support.
A lot of us that are coming to help are not gay.
Dan is not alone.
I am not gay, actually, yeah. I'm actually straight.
Tony Smith, a minister, married a gay couple for the first time.
I mean, I believe in equal rights just as everyone else.
Several others had the same thoughts.
We're straight.
They weren't LGBT, but came out.
This golf course is tough. Just look at the water hazards. Its manager is glad the big-name players came to French Lick.
It's our time to get on the big stage, hopefully.
Even if they're not playing his course.
Does anybody take your course as serious as the guys over there?
Probably not. No, probably not.
Across the street from Schatz Mini Golf, they're playing the Senior PGA Championship at the French Lick Resort.
Oh, it's been great. I mean, yeah, what's not to like?
Golf fans came from all over, like Mike Terwilliger from Tennessee.
Yeah, but you don't get to see these guys very often.
No matter who they came with, the visitors are making people in Orange County happy.
Kind of puts us on the map, I guess.
Friday brought much better weather, bringing larger crowds to the tournament and making the course a little easier for the players, too. A few players complain the course is too tough.
Tilly, it looks really hard. I don't think I could do it.
Rebecca Pettit and Lynn Foy called it a day after 8 holes.
That was enough for me.
So they found shade and a seat.
I've already had a beer. I'm ready for another.
This is just an incredible course, but would I want to play it? No, never.
The course across the street beckons.
Our community and the town, Orange County, has been working for this moment for years now.
We're here on the last hole with everything on the line. Anybody can sink a putt for glory. From French Lick, Theo Keith.
Nailed it!
Wave 3 News.
They're incredible. And I love them with all my heart.
The search starts with a scent, an article of clothing from the missing.
Take scent, find Casey!
And the hunt begins. The dogs train 2 to 4 times a week in a range of weather conditions and all types of terrain. From Hall's point of view,
hard surface, so the scent changes on a hard surface?
She follows Pocket as she traces my scent, quickly, swiftly, hoping to find me as soon as possible.
They know when they find their person.
The dogs have a 100% success rate with JCPS students. KYK9 is one of the first calls when a student goes missing. And it's no wonder why. Within a matter of minutes,
you found me.
Pocket finds me deep in the woods of Joe Creason Park.
Just what they do and how they've helped people is just, it's a real blessing.
And welcome to Sports Talk 840. This show is iconic in this market and has had only 3 hosts in its history.
33 years of Sports Talk 84 history, one night, one studio.
We thank you for listening to the radio.
While Sports Talk is now all over the radio dial, that wasn't the case in the 80s, especially at night.
When Sports Talk 84 started, it was kind of a pioneer.
The original concept of the show, they called me in, they said, we've got U of L, we got UK, we got the coaches' shows, and we need to build a sports empire.
They did, starting with Mojo, the velvet voice of Van Vance, back in 1982.
He'd say, turn up the sound chamber, the echo chamber a little bit more. Your voice is too deep.
Vance built the show around bluegrass religion, basketball.
If you talk basketball, it's like a motel room when all the rooms are rented. When you looked at all of those telephones on basketball nights, every little line was blinking.
From there, the Cruise Man, Tony Cruz, took over the mic in 1995. The producer learned from his mentor, who broke recruiting and other sports news on a daily basis.
Mojo, Van Vance, had it. I mean, he had the info. It was a very important connection for a lot of people. For people here that didn't live in Lexington, we'd have coaches on from Lexington. Coaches would even come visit my show. And I remember when Tubby came, we had over 1,000 people probably show up at one of the malls.
And for the last 11 years,
social media enables the most passionate fans to have the loudest voice.
Loyal listeners have been locked and loaded for Lachlan McLean. McLean recently announced he was headed to Charlotte, North Carolina with wife Carolyn and daughters Madison and Lucy. With so many other sports shows, the programming decision was made to go in another nighttime direction.
The fact that you've been able to hear sports at night for so many years and talking about U of L and UK, I think it has raised the level of sports discussion in this town.
This night, fans said thanks and goodbye to 3 true pros.
It's class out of the hosts that we had and good guys overall, and I appreciate all the years you guys put in.